The Modern Game Podcast.
Well, this week was the first Uni Derby of the season, Tottenham versus West Brom.
It's a good time for Jamie to unmute himself, really.
You might as well stay muted.
To that point, you know.
I'll let Jamie go first and give his take on the game.
I don't think I can, Cabs. I think you're going to have to take over.
You're crying about it already?
Somehow just choked on water.
But yeah, it was a poor performance. I feel like West Brom were a better team, and we obviously scored with about 4 or 5 minutes to go, maybe a bit less.
I think it might be less. Yeah, I think
it was a bit less. And I remember saying to you lots, I think when there was 5 minutes to go, that there could be another 30 minutes and we ain't scoring. But it was
I remember.
It was a lovely ball from Doherty, good header from Kane, but the decision making from your keeper let your side down, because I feel like you lots definitely outplayed us, and it was just poor decision making from him that cost you in the end. But at the same time, I can't complain with the 3 points.
Yeah, watching it back, it was obviously at the time it looked like a clear mistake from the keeper, but it was a mix between Bartley's defending and Johnston's decision making mixed together have just caused us a point. And I said at the start of the game, go on, Charlie.
The teams that come up, those like split-second decisions, the little mistakes, they're gonna cost you towards the end of the season.
They're expected though from those sort of players, because I've said from the start of the season that they're not good enough for the Premier League anyway.
It's true, but if you come up and you're playing against a team like Spurs, if you're still drawing in the closing stages of the game, you have to see the game out. There's no excuse for it.
I feel like
I wish I could say I'm surprised though. I wish I could.
Like that's been the difference between like most teams that have come up and then Sheffield United last season, because in those moments
in their first season,
they had leaders that turn up, and for me, Bartley's not a leader at all.
Bartley's not a Premier League defender.
I was going to say I don't think there's a leader in that squad, but now you brought in Ivanovic. There might be
Ivanovic was missing
more of that.
But
as much as you don't rate Livermore, he's a leader. He's 100% a leader, but he's not.
No, I'll be honest though. See, Jake, he needs to deliver more because he's poor. That's why we sold him. He's poor.
But no, for me, Livermore will never play in the Premier League.
But when we done a predictions last week, you lot predicted 4-1s, 3-1s, and I said a humble draw, because that was the type of game that I thought we would drop points, and it was the type of performance where we deserved to drop points. I feel like a lot of our best players didn't perform that well. I think Ndombele was good as usual. Kane was dropping deep and spraying balls like Donald Trump's fake Tanner. But for the most part, we just wasn't good enough. But we got the result in the end.
He's had half a
That's all I can ask for.
the thing is, like, obviously didn't watch the game because I was working, but seeing the highlights, there was a lot of big chances in the game. Grant had a couple. Don did that one off a line. Salsa had one. Don had one. There was so many big chances that could have swayed the game, but it was just one of them where it was going to be a mistake that changed the game.
And I think for the sake of Spurs, I think this is twice now where I've said the teams that go on to get in the top 3 or even win the league grind out results from games they shouldn't win, and
it's something that we've not done before.
Yeah,
that's the best thing. Something that in previous
shaking his head at that, Charlie.
No, sorry, something going right.
It's something.
Another mouse.
Previous seasons, I'd expect West Brom to nick the 3 points at the end of that game, and now we're switching it around and we're actually not performing well, and then nicking results, and it's good to see. As bad as it is, obviously we were poor. We were so poor, but knowing that you could still nick a point or 3 if you go into a game and play poor, it's positive.
Well, like you say, Charlie, we was poor against Brighton, we was poor against Burnley. So my concern is when we come back for the international break, we've got the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. We're playing against, I think, 4 of the big 6. We've got Leicester as well. I'm concerned if we play like that, we're not picking up any points. But then at the same time, sorry, Dan, I just want to say that if at the same time, against a team like Man City, you play a higher line, Son's likely to have a better game so he can get in behind. Whereas when West Brom are sitting deep, Son he couldn't make any runs. There wasn't much for him to do.
Yeah. Well, I know what you mean, but it's like the game, Man City at home last season when we had like 30% possession. I think we had like 4 shots, and it's just Mourinho's style of play is different to what we're used to. Try not to laugh.
Yeah, no, Dan. I need to give you a little piece about West Brom. I haven't said anything yet about the performance.
I know. I was just going to raise the point that under Pochettino, do you win that game?
No, you don't.
Yeah, that's the point that I made. The point I'm making. Sorry.
At the same time,
Mourinho's style of play is different to what we've seen before.
At the same time, did Mourinho win us that game, or was it Harry Kane and Doherty that won us that game from that one? No,
I mean, I was talking about the Man City game last season when he set up. Yeah, the West Brom game was just obviously Johnston's mistake and a decent ball and a good header.
Does Poch win that game? Because for me, does Mourinho change the mentality?
I think it's.
I don't think it was
a bit too early to tell. Yeah,
I don't think their defensive shape would have been any worse. I know we created a couple of decent chances, but we didn't have any clear-cut chances. They were all half chances that at least one of them should have been taken. None of them were clear-cut. Maybe
the Grant header, you should have scored.
That was a great chance, but it wasn't clear-cut enough for me to say if he would have scored that, we would have won the game. I don't think we had enough clear-cut chances to say that. I think we had half chances that could have resulted in at least one goal. But the performance in itself was 10 times better than it was at Fulham. Polar opposite performances.
I was impressed by West Brom, but at the same time, how many games can you go playing decently and having positives to take from the game?
That's what I said. Points? That's what I said. That's what I said in the chat to you at the end of the game. I said, no doubt, Bilic is going to come out and say it's a performance to build on. We can take positives out of it and all that. Which, yeah, we can, but how long can you say that for? You can't just keep using that as the excuse. You've got to start building on it. You've got to start moving on. And it was a far better performance than it was at Fulham, which is one silver lining, but it's got us nowhere. It's not got us anything. It's like I said to you as well, Dan, the players' heads are probably going to have dropped after that a lot.
Yeah, it's
like 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back again, because we've made it 88 minutes without conceding, and then we've conceded by a stupid mistake in the 88th minute. So the players' heads are going to drop again, and it's going to be like back to square one again.
You got Man United next.
Exactly. That's what the performance against Man U is going to be interesting to see if it's a similar performance to that, or if it's a similar performance to it was at Fulham, because, like I said, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
The Modern Game Podcast.